Welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. The world is not always kind to short men, I hear, right, Darian Lewis? There are the short jokes with a negative stigma attached to a smaller height. Tonight, we meet a man who decided to do something about it. Dynzell Sigers. He traveled from Georgia to Turkey, the country of Turkey, for limb lengthening surgery. He was 5'5" before making the trip. Today, he's standing 6 feet tall. He's up there with me. He shared his story. And man, you have been making the news in Atlanta and around the country. Congratulations. What is that, 7 inches taller?
Yes, sir.
So I assume it's always been your dream. You started out at 5'5", now you're 6 feet tall.
Yes.
It has always been your dream to be taller. Why?
Absolutely. So as a kid, I was actually a taller kid than the rest of the kids around me because I hit my growth spurt very early. But around like 13 or around 13, everyone else started to shoot up. And then I noticed that I was like getting shorter than everyone else, but I still didn't realize I was short until like the
You're
story
like,
they
God,
said.
what's going on here?
So I still didn't realize I was short until I was actually a friend or a girl that I was trying to talk to came up to me with her friend, and they were doing a trend back in whatever year it was when I was about 15, and they were telling men why they wouldn't date them. And my reason was, they was like, oh, if you were taller and older. And I was like, that's when I really realized I was short, because then I started looking at everybody else's height, and I was like, okay, I am a short guy.
But to have the girls tell you if you were taller, if you were only taller, that had to have a lasting impact on you.
So it did, but I ended up getting with that chick at some point anyway. But yeah, she was all talk. But no, it definitely, as a man, like, so I've actually been pretty successful with women, but I will say I had insecurities about my height either way. And I always felt like I could have been much more successful as a taller man, but I wanted to look better, feel better. Several different reasons that I did it.
And apparently you started doing the research and realized you can get taller through surgery.
Absolutely. As soon as I found it, I booked my appointment the same day.
Wow. And it's pretty expensive. I think it's what, 80,000 in Turkey where you went, and 150,000 here in America.
Absolutely.
Did you feel like you were taking any chances? Because many people are like, if you go to another country, it may not be as good as America.
So yes, I was terrified, mainly because I was going to another country, but I took the risk. I prayed on it. I took the risk because in America, they can only give me 5 inches. So I would only be 5'10", and that's with 2 surgeries, which would have cost me 150,000. And they don't have, a rehabilitation center. The place that I went is the only facility in the world as of right now that has a rehabilitation center that is with you from start to finish. And I was able to do the surgery there and get 7 inches rather than 5.
And was it one surgery or was it 2 surgeries?
I did 2.
2 surgeries.
So first I did my upper leg, then I did my lower leg. So all 6 bones in my leg are broken right now.
And so you were there. How long were you there for the surgery and your rehabilitation?
I was there 6 months.
Okay. And you said all the bones in my legs are broken. Are they currently broken?
Yes,
and how long does it take to heal?
It takes so the new bone has to grow in. It takes about 6 months to a year. My upper leg, since I did that surgery first, is healing very well. The bone is recovering very well. The lower leg, because I did it second, is still under its recovery period. But my bone healing is going amazing.
Do you ever get nervous, like, please don't let anything go wrong with this?
I do, but I choose not to think about it. I think you have to stay positive. And I believe that I'm one of those people that believe God will guide me through anything.
Now, I have heard in researching this in the past, because there have been other individuals to get it done. And what we heard was that it was extremely painful. Is that the case?
Absolutely. The worst pain I've been through.
Did you have like a tear coming down as a result of the pain?
When you get it, initially they put you to sleep, but once you wake up, you feel most of the pain. They put you on very strong pain medication after they make sure that you're okay, you're stable, so you wait a little while before you get it. I've never really been the crying type. I don't really know how, so it was difficult for me to express that I was in pain. And while I was in the military, I was always taught like just to suck it up. So I never told them I was in pain. I would just laugh to hide the pain.
And when you were able to stand up and see that additional height, what was that like for you?
It was unreal at first. Like, it's kind of like a growth spurt. So at first you don't notice it. Like you don't notice it. You feel like you're the same height, even though it was 7 inches. It's like I still didn't notice it immediately. But then, like, as the days tick by, you start to notice everything's too small. You stand next to people you've stood next to before, and I'm like looking down like this now, and that's a very amazing feeling. And then I stood next to people that were my old height exactly, and they're like right here to me.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We continue the story of a man willing to go great lengths to be tall. Dynzell Sigers underwent life-changing lengthening surgery, going from 5'5" to 6 feet tall. He says the process has been painful, but worth it. Now, at this point, are you walking on your own? I saw you on what appeared to be like almost a scooter or a walker.
Yes, a walker, yes.
So are you still using that?
I transition between different devices. I can walk on my own, but just for safety purposes, I use crutches when I'm out and about. And whenever I need to carry stuff around, I use my walker. Like when I go to the gym, that's mainly when I use it. So I can like transport weights back and forth.
And is there still pain today in some form or fashion?
I have not had any pain in the last 2 months.
And apparently that's wonderful. That feels great to you. Have you faced any criticism for people who said, you know, why do you want to be tall? You know, this is the way you were born. You should live this way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people say I didn't love myself, which I didn't love my height. So that's true. But I did love myself. And I've always had high self-esteem in areas, just not in height. Like,
and how has life changed for you as a result of now being 7 inches taller?
It's been a huge change. It's been a huge change for me, mainly because so much is going on at once. Because I decided to go public with my story, I'm getting like so many opportunities that I never even dreamed possible. I went from just being a regular guy to being known all over America, and actually all over the world now. I've gone viral worldwide numerous times at this point. So
and what would be some of those opportunities that we'd say, wow?
So most of them as of right now are actually I am getting information or details about a company that wants to like do a show like about me. I'm getting like opportunities even from overseas, like overseas is calling me. I get to do interviews there. I get to do like different, someone asked me to do like matchmaking classes, things like that. Yeah, that one's funny.
You're like, how did you put me with that?
It's hard to name every single thing because it's been so consistent, and I've been more busy than I was in the military. Actually, I was in the military 8 years.
And would you recommend it for anyone who may feel like, hey, I want to be taller. I feel like I'm taller internally, so I need to be taller. And there's a surgery out there. Would you recommend it for them?
Yeah, I say it takes a certain level of discipline and dedication because unfortunately, this is a costly surgery. And I've seen people, you know, not make it that far because it's painful, it's hard. So I get it. I'm not judging these people, but that pain doesn't go away. Like it gets better over time, but you're in pain pretty much the entire time. Me, I did it twice, so it's 6 months. And to undergo that for that long, it has to be a certain level of dedication and discipline to tell yourself, don't quit, just keep going.